abandoned islands, haunted forests, and towns lost to time. These are the places where nightmares come to life. Get ready to explore the creepiest corners of the world where people once lived but wouldn't dare to now. At the foot of the majestic Mount Fuji in Japan lies a dark and silent forest known as Aokigahara, or the Suicide Forest. This eerie place has a chilling reputation because of the many people who have sadly taken their own lives there. It's estimated that around 30 to 100 people tragically choose this forest as the place to end their lives each year. The forest's connection to death started back in the 1960s when a novel featured a suicide in Aokigahara. This made the forest famous for all the wrong reasons. Now, the Japanese government doesn't even share official numbers about the suicides anymore, hoping to discourage others from making the same tragic choice. They've even put up signs in the forest begging people to think twice and seek help. Far from the quiet of a Japanese forest, another chilling story unfolds in Pripyat, Ukraine. This once bustling city was abandoned in a hurry on April 27, 1986, because of a terrible accident at the nearby Chernobyl nuclear power plant. The day before, a reactor exploded, releasing dangerous radioactive material into the air. People who lived in Pripyat were told they'd only be gone for a few days, but they never got to come home. The city is frozen in time, with empty buildings and a spooky silence that reminds us of the tragedy. Now, the area around Chernobyl, including Pripyat, is a place where people visit to learn about the disaster and see its haunting aftermath. The echoes of tragedy and sorrow aren't limited to just cities and forests. Even remote islands hold their own dark and unsettling stories. Just outside Mexico City, in the canals of Xochimilco, lies a truly creepy island called Isla de las Muñecas, or the Island of the Dolls. It's not your typical island paradise, though. Instead of palm trees and sandy beaches, this island is covered in old broken dolls hanging from trees and scattered on the ground. The story goes that a man named Don Julian Santana found the body of a drowned girl on the island. To keep her spirit from haunting him, he started collecting old dolls and hanging them up as a way to scare away evil spirits. Over time, the island became a creepy collection of decaying dolls, many missing arms, legs, or eyes. It's a place that gives even the bravest visitors chills. Not far from the beautiful city of Venice, Italy, lies Poveglia Island, a place with a dark and twisted past. This island was once used to isolate people who had the plague, a deadly disease. Thousands were sent there during outbreaks, and many never left. Later in the 20th century, the island became a mental hospital. It's said that patients there were treated cruelly and unfairly. Now people believe the island is haunted by the ghosts of those who died or suffered there. The crumbling buildings and creepy atmosphere make it a magnet for ghost hunters and those who love a good scare. But even more horrifying than tales of ghosts are the places where unspeakable human tragedies have unfolded. Nestled in the countryside of France, the village of Oradour-sur-Glane is a chilling reminder of the horrors of war. On a dark day in June 1944, during World War II, Nazi soldiers massacred 642 villagers, including women and children. The village has been left untouched since that day, a haunting memorial to those who lost their lives. Visitors can walk through the abandoned streets, see the remains of buildings, and even find personal belongings left behind. It's a place that sends shivers down your spine and reminds us of the terrible things people can do to each other. From a village frozen in time by tragedy, we journey to an island abandoned for economic reasons. Hashima Island, also known as Battleship Island, sits off the coast of Japan. It was once a thriving community built around coal mining. But when the mines closed in the 1970s, the island became deserted. The crumbling buildings and eerie emptiness of Hashima Island have made it a popular spot for urban explorers, people who love to explore abandoned places. The island's spooky look has even been featured in movies like the James Bond film Skyfall. Abandoned places aren't always the result of natural disasters or sudden economic collapses. Sometimes they are the remnants of man-made disasters, leaving behind a haunting legacy. Deep beneath the town of Centralia, Pennsylvania, a fire burns. Not a cozy fireplace or a bonfire, but a coal mine fire that's been raging underground since 1962. This accidental fire turned Centralia into a modern-day ghost town. Smoke and steam rise from cracks in the ground, making the town look like something out of a scary movie. Most of the buildings have been torn down, and only a few people still live there. The scariest part is that the fire is expected to keep burning for many more years, making Centralia a real-life inferno. From a town consumed by fire, we venture into a forest shrouded in mystery and strange occurrences. Deep in the heart of Transylvania, Romania, lies the Hoia Forest, a place so eerie that it's been called the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania. People have reported seeing UFOs, mysterious lights, and even disappearing without a trace. This spooky forest has a reputation for being haunted, with stories of ghostly figures and unexplained events. The forest itself is strange, with twisted trees and unusual plants that add to its otherworldly atmosphere. It's a place that draws in people who love the paranormal and want to experience the unknown. In the remote countryside of Chile, there's a place with a dark and disturbing history. Colonia Dignidad, founded by a German man named Paul Schaefer, was a secretive community with a dark secret. It was a place where terrible things happened, like torture and murder, especially during the time when Augusto Pinochet ruled Chile with an iron fist. Schaefer controlled the colony with strict rules, and it became like a cult, brainwashing its members and working with the Chilean secret police. The horrible things that went on there have left a deep scar on the area and serve as a reminder of the dark side of human nature. The echoes of fear and despair don't only linger in the abandoned buildings of Europe and the Americas. In distant corners of the globe, there are places where entire villages and towns have been left to the mercy of time and the elements, their histories whispered in the rustling leaves and the crumbling walls. In the sands of Rajasthan, India, lies Kuldhara, a ghost village with a chilling curse. The story goes that the villagers fled overnight in the early 1800s to escape a cruel ruler. They left behind a curse that anyone who dared to settle in the village would face death. Today, the ruins of Kuldhara are a popular tourist spot. People are drawn to the mystery of the abandoned village and the legends surrounding the curse. The empty houses and silent streets stand as a testament to the terror that once drove the villagers away. Across the world, in the dusty hills of California, another ghost town waits to be explored. Body is a relic of the gold rush era, a time when people flocked to California hoping to strike it rich. But when the gold ran out, so did the people. The town was left to decay. Body's empty buildings and abandoned streets give it a spooky, haunted feeling. It's a place where visitors can imagine the hustle and bustle of the past, when gold fever was at its peak. The town is now a state historic park, kept in its worn-out state to preserve its history. In the quiet countryside of Japan, the village of Nagoro is home to a unique kind of resident, life-size dolls. These dolls outnumber the actual people living in the village. A woman named Tsukimi Ayano who used to live in Nagoro, started making the dolls to replace the villagers who had passed away or moved away. Each doll is a reminder of a person who once lived and worked in Nagoro. They're placed all around the village, doing everyday things like waiting at the bus stop or sitting in a classroom. It's a strange and somewhat eerie sight, but it's also a touching tribute to the people who once called this place home. The beautiful island of Cyprus holds a hidden ghost town called Varosha. It used to be a popular vacation spot, but in 1974, it was suddenly abandoned when Turkey invaded Cyprus. The town has been sealed off ever since, slowly falling apart as nature takes over. The empty hotels and resorts in Varosha stand as a sad reminder of the conflict. There have been plans to rebuild the town, but they haven't happened yet because of political problems and other challenges. For now, Varosha remains a haunting reminder of what was lost. The world is full of abandoned places, each with its own haunting tale to tell. Whether cursed villages, ghost towns, or sites of unspeakable tragedy, these places remind us of the power of history, the fragility of life, and the enduring mysteries that continue to captivate and unsettle us. As always, thanks for tuning in. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're fixing for more of that history crack.